Did you know that epilepsy is a neurological disease which for sufferers is a dangerous disorder? One of the symptoms is seizure. It is known from the latest data from the Association of Indonesian Neurologists Perdosi that in 2021 there are around 2.1 million epilepsy sufferers. On the other hand, ancient people often use moringa leaf as a traditional medicine. So I did some literature studies and found that moringa leaf can be used as a medicine for epilepsy sufferers.
So in this problem, we need more in-depth study about the Moringa Oleifera that can be used as a traditional medicines for the epilepsy sufferers. So I will probably present to you the potential of STAT3 and CASP3 compounds in Moringa Oleifera as anti-epileptics using the maximum electroshock seizure method and in silico approach. My name is Aqela, Salsabila Putri Januarianto, and I am under the guidance of Mrs. Elsa Aryastuti MPD, and I am from SMA Negeri 3 Semarang. The main ingredient we use is the Moringa Oleifera leaf. The other ingredients we use are the ethanol 70%, 0.9% natrium chloride, clove, electroshock, and also injection.
The first stage is the drying stage of moringa leaf. Then the dry moringa leaf and then ground using a blender until they become a fine powder. The second stage is the extraction stage of moringa leaf. In this extraction stage, the researcher used a ratio of 1:10 between moringa leaf and 70% of ethanol, and then continued by the filtration stage. The next process is the phytochemical test stage. The results of the test are positive for flavonoids, positive for alkaloids, positive for tannins, and also positive for steroids. The fourth stage is the bioinformatics study stage and also the molecular docking study. The fifth stage is the dose determination stage. The finished pure extract were diluted using 0.9% natrium chloride with different concentration, namely 0.5%, 1%, and also 1.5%. The injection dose that will be injected later is 1.7 ml. The sixth stage is the grouping stage of test animal. Here the researchers uses two types of variable, namely variable 1 by giving an injection after being induced with an electroshock as a treatment therapy, and variable 2 by giving an injection before being induced with an electric shock as a prevention. Researchers used three research control, namely a solution with a concentration of 0.5%, 1%, and also 1.5%. There are also positive control and also negative control. The final stage is the testing stage with an electroshock device, namely Electroshock. The treatment observed at this stage included seizure time and treatment of mice for 1 hour, 2 hours, 1 day, and also 3 days. The data collection on the collection of active compounds in moringa leaf was carried out through Dr. Chu. The compounds obtained from moringa leaf are oxalic acid, camphorol, niacinamide, ascorbic acid, quercetin, caffeic acid, beta-carotene, oxalate, and also tocopherol. Swiss target predation and also NCBI to collect protein target from the moringa leaf and also epilepsy. Then analyzing using FENI and found that there were 44 direct protein target in moringa leaf which were related to epilepsy. After that, analysis was carried out using Cytoscape to analyze the protein sequence that play the most role in epilepsy and regulated by moringa leaf. The results of the analysis show that there are 5 protein targets, namely STAT3, CASP3, TNF, MMP9, and also PTGS2. In silico molecular docking study were carried out to analyze the binding affinity values between the most effective proteins and the bioactive compounds of moringa leaf. The target protein analyzed were STAT3 and also CASP3. Docking was carried out on the compounds of caffeic acid, ascorbic acid, and also niacinamide using the Birax software. The results of the molecular docking are binding affinity values between the compounds and the target protein. The binding affinity of a ligand is measured as a negative score, where the lower of the binding affinity value, the more stable the interaction between the ligand and also the receptor of the protein. The control used in the study is an active substance that has been proven to be efficacious as an antiepileptic agent. Phenytoin is a drug that is widely used as first-line therapy to treat seizures that occur in epilepsy patients. The docking results show that the binding affinity values of the niacinamide compounds with CASP3 was comparable to the control, namely phenytoin, of -5.6. The RMSD value of the docking result is 0.0, indicating that the docking results are declared valid with high accuracy. The docking results between the compounds moringa leaf and the target protein show that these compounds are able to have an anti-epileptic effect. This is shown by the result that these compounds are able to target proteins that play a role in epilepsy, and there are compounds that have binding affinity values comparable to the controls. This is the result from testing and observation on control 1 with the injection of moringa leaf extract at a concentration of 0.5%. It was found that the average result duration in variable 1 was 39.75 seconds, while the average result duration in variable 2 was 32.5 seconds. From the results of observation at several different times, it was found that the mass treatment was normal. This is the result from testing and observation on control 2 with the injection of moringa leaf extract at a concentration of 1%. It was found that the average result duration in variable 1 was 37.5 seconds, while the average result duration in variable 2 was 30.5 seconds. From the results of observation at several different times, it was found that the mass treatment was normal. This is the result from testing and observation on control 3 with the injection of Moringa Oleifera at a concentration of 1.5%. It was found that the average seizure duration in variable 1 was 36.75 seconds, while the average seizure duration in variable 2 was 28.5 seconds. From the results of observation at several different times, it was found that the mass treatment was normal. This is the result from testing and observation on positive control. This is the result from testing and observation on negative control.